Chapter 5. Translator's note. Keikaku means plan. Yatsuhashi's massive, throbbing cock crowed outside of the dorms, arousing the students from the blessed throes of slumber to be thrust in a never-ending hell. Most of the students thought that the stupid bird was either sick or pumped up with steroids, but none could thus argue that the rooster was not an effective alarm, since the government thought that eating shitty food that's supposedly good for body is more important than functional alarm clocks. A paradoxical way of thinking that created the white fang out of the ancient practice of forced marriage. For can one say that what is good for the body is not the devil of a soul? Perhaps a Krabby Patty-induced heart attack is but a small pittance to pay for entry into Elysium, or salvation, the eyes of God. For who can truly claim what kind of undergarments is superior, or if one's true desire will mix in the blender of life? Great poets throughout the centuries, Dante, Chaucer, or Michael Bay. Could the threads of their lives truly be superior in the great tapestry of life? For what could be more valuable than a human soul? The soul of a faunus, that inferior species, could not dream of being an ingredient for the legendary philosopher's stone, nor could those who had lived millennia and still could remember the great calamity truly believe in their ancient hearts that Atlantis would one day rise again.
"It's time to chew ass and dick kick 'em,"
Mercury smoothly stated in a gentlemanly fashion to his roommates, as well as boss and colleague, Cinder and Emerald, as Yatsuhashi's large, bulging cock stopped ejaculating such a racket. Mercury hopped out of his bed as if it were a toaster, and used a slice of buttered bread, the teenage form of toast. Following routine, Mercury's porn star-shaped feet slid perfectly into his slick-ass gun boots, and he slid through the rooms out onto the hallway, riding a pre-greased trail of Emerald's cunt juice that he had obtained the night with maximum consensus before, taking a perfectly on-target true MLG no-scope slap at Cinder's older than 17 years of age booty that should not be at bacon on the way out. As he slid down the hallway at the speed of light, he jumped off the end of his vaginal leakage, backflipping through the air and passing the dorms of RWBY and Juniper, as Yang and Pyrrha walked out to find what the fuck was going on. In the middle of his trailblazing journey through air, time, water, earth, fire, air, the four nations lived in harmony, space, life itself, and the concept of morality. Mercury hung in midair, discharging 34 shots from his boots in quick succession into Pyrrha's ultra-talented pumpkin pizza-endorsing urethra, while motorboating Yang at 9,001 horsepower, causing both to let go of their morning lady boners. To Mercury, these actions seemed to take up to 10 seconds, but smooth as he was, the moment was over so quickly for the girls that neither knew he had even passed. Pyrrha never noticed, but Yang occasionally would see a flash of gray in the morning when this happened. But even for her, the moment was never long enough.
"Just according to Keikaku,"
Mercury menacingly chuckled to himself as his morning routine continued, and he raced on the fast track, performing a 10 out of 10, landing on his ass at the stair handhold and sliding down.
"Time to head over to Bacon Academy.
Mercury sang, his succubus-slaying penis screeching in anticipation on the way to the cafeteria, and the high-protein breakfast that Mercury was to consume in order to replenish the gallons of semen that his God-suppressing testicles would need to produce. Mercury's amazing dust-spewing cock stopped screeching as Mercury's face collided, face first, into an outstretched warhammer that suddenly appeared in his path. That was not part of the demigod Mercury's plan. It was not according to Keikaku at all! Mercury's knees exploded and his legs broke because of the impact of his head, now detached gunboot sailing end over end before defying the supreme law of gravity, defying nature, daring to defy death itself, reminiscent of an obscure time in history when Emperor Ronald Reagan dropped a smut bomb on Hiroshima in order to conquer the moon in the great space race, thus mutating Japan into a horde of tentacle-loving ass-mongering Mickey Mouse molesters. The boots kept firing round after round, the bottoms of the boots disintegrating and eventually reaching the stratosphere and crushing into the gates of heaven. A tragedy that the footwear of such a divine man on earth would be denied from the afterlife. But one law is absolute. Nothing without a spirit is allowed into heaven. For the same reason the boots were barred from hell as well. The boots may have been sacred, but in the end were fated to wander the earth, forever unable to move on without a spirit, an aura. Like the creatures of Grimm, there is no afterlife for the boots, Because they have no souls. Mercury's defensive upper legs buckled underneath him, only slightly damaged by the loss of his knees, but absolutely crippled by the destruction of his boots. Nora pushed him over and straddled him, thrusting his cock through her sphincter. Mercury sighed in pleasure and started smoking. He began to worry about lung cancer and tried to stop smoking, but found that he was unable to as Nora accelerated to ludicrous speeds and had not been using any sort of lubricant in the first place. As Mercury's cock heated to dangerous levels from friction, his body began ejecting all his bodily fluids through his urethra in order to provide some sort of cooling agent and lubricant, but his body was unable to keep up with such intense emergency measures, for he had not gotten his dose of protein from his usual breakfast. With one last shuddering breath, Mercury died, his body melting into a liquid. Nora took the non-solid remains of Mercury and created a thermometer. After breakfast, she gave it to Weiss so that she could check her temperature and make sure she would not melt during intense fapping sessions. And when nobody was watching, Nora queefed out Mercury's body fluids into Blake's litter box. I don't know about you guys, but this is about to be continued. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba.